All right, let's jump right in. Picture this, a company churning out 160 million pairs of shoes a year. Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking about a massive, old-school, traditional shoemaker. But, and this is the interesting part, this story isn't about how things used to be done. It's about how this giant completely transformed itself using AI.
So that really gets to the heart of what we're looking at here. Can a company like that, an old-school shoemaker, really become an AI powerhouse? I mean, is that even possible? A company built on decades of human skill and, well, manual labor. Well, Yongjing Group decided to give it a shot.
So, to really get why they'd attempt something so radical, you've got to understand the world they were living in. The global shoe market is, well, it's brutal. You've got intense competition from everywhere, production costs are always going up, supply chains are a mess, and let's be honest, you've got the constant pressure of every shoe looking like every other shoe. Standing still, that just wasn't an option.
Okay, so let's move on to their game plan. And listen, they didn't just, test the waters here. Nope, Yongjing Group went all in. We're talking a truly radical AI strategy. This wasn't about making a few small changes. This was a ground-up reinvention of how they did business.
And this quote from their president, Zhang Rongwu, really just nails it. The goal wasn't just to be a little bit faster. It was to completely change who they were, to go from just making stuff to creating stuff. And AI was going to be the engine for that whole shift.
Now, this diagram here, it's a great way to see how they thought about it. They called it full chain AI. And the core idea is simple but powerful. AI isn't just another tool or some separate department tucked away in a corner. No way. It's the hub. It's the central nervous system that connects literally everything, from the first design idea all the way to that final quality check.
And this slide really gets to the fundamental shift. Think about it like changing a computer's operating system. They went from the old way, which was all experience-driven, right? Relying on the gut feelings and intuition of their best people, and they swapped it for a brand new data-driven system. Now, every decision is based on real-time data and smart algorithms.
All right, so how do they actually build this whole thing? I mean, a strategy this big needs a serious engine to make it go. And for Yongjing, that engine was something they built themselves, a piece of tech that became the absolute heart of this entire revolution.
And they gave it a pretty cool name, the Octopus System. This is their own custom-built AI platform. It acts as the central brain for everything. And we're not just talking about one factory. It's the brain coordinating their entire enormous global operation, all in real time.
This visual gives you a perfect idea of how it works. You've got that central AI brain, right? And then its tentacles are reaching out into every single part of the business. I mean, every part. Scheduling, monitoring production lines, quality control, even managing energy use. And get this, it's doing that across 33 different production sites and for 95,000 employees. The scale is just mind-boggling.
So what does this octopus actually do all day? Well, first, the AI brain figures out the absolute best, most efficient schedule. Then it starts sending out the jobs, dispatching tasks to the exact right machine or the right person at the exact right moment. And here's the kicker. All the while, it's constantly watching for quality issues, giving instant feedback to make sure everything stays on track.
Okay, so that's the big picture, the system itself. But what does this actually mean for the people on the factory floor? Or for the designers? Let's zoom in and look at a few real-world examples.
This table just lays it all out, the before and after. It's incredible. Take R&D. The old way? Slow, manual designs, making expensive physical samples. The new way? Super fast 3D simulations and virtual samples. Or how about quality? They went from people doing random spot checks to AI vision inspecting every single item. And making decisions? Forget long meetings. Now it's all about real-time dashboards, giving them instant answers.
But let's double-click on that quality control piece for a second, because this is wild. They actually worked with aerospace researchers to create what they call AI Eagle Eyes. It's a system that uses hyperspectral imaging to inspect every single bit of material. It can see tiny flaws that a human could never, ever spot. And the result? A staggering 99.7% product pass rate. They basically made defects a thing of the past.
Okay, so here's the big question, right? After all of this, all the investment, all this revolutionary change, did it work? What was the actual payoff for this massive, massive project?
I mean, this is the question every CEO is asking. You turn your whole company inside out to bring in AI. What do you actually get for it? What's the real ROI?
First up, a 35% jump in production efficiency. Just let that sink in. For a company this big, 35% isn't just an improvement, it's a complete game changer. That changes everything about their capacity, their costs, their profits.
Next, remember those AI eagle eyes? Well, here's the payoff. A 60% drop in the product defect rate. 60%. That means way better products, way less waste, and of course, much happier customers.
And last but not least, speed. Innovation. They cut their R&D cycle in half, 50% faster. In the world of fashion, that's everything. It means you can jump on a new trend while it's still hot, giving you a massive edge over the competition.
And what this chart shows is that these weren't just isolated wins. It was a total systemic upgrade across the whole company. Efficiency, quality, innovation, costs, everything got a major boost. They didn't just improve one part of the business, they leveled up the entire operation.
But honestly, the biggest win here isn't even in those incredible numbers. It's something deeper. It's about a change in their DNA. Yongjing stopped being just a company that makes shoes. They became a technology company, a platform that could actually empower the whole industry.
Which brings us to this final thought, and it's a powerful one. The true lesson here isn't about buying new software. It's about what they call the genetic modification of a company. It's about rewriting an organization's DNA so that it thinks, learns, and acts with intelligence built right in. And that really makes you wonder, what other old-school industries are out there just waiting for their own genetic modification to start a revolution?